All right, we're live. Well, not live, but recording at least. I was live earlier. Um, I think I might not have been. I might not have been live, and I was just talking to myself. If I wasn't live, hey, it's whatever. So guys, we're back with another video, and this is something that has kind of been coming up the last couple days, and we're just gonna kind of cover it, just because this is some certain people that are part of this are near and dear to me. I mean, just absolute, just mega chads of the industry, in my eyes. So we're gonna get into this, as you guys can probably tell by the title and maybe by the thumbnail, that this is going to be the Faze kind of issue that's been going on the last couple days. So backstory in my part, obviously we'll hear everything from these guys, but for me personally, a couple days ago, I was on X and somebody said like "rip Phase" or something like that, and it wasn't anybody a part of Phase, and I couldn't tell you. So shout out to that guy for filling me in. I mean, obviously, but like obviously, I probably would have found out, because this is like the biggest thing happening on Twitter right now. So I went and started looking around at the different Phase members that I knew, especially the big ones: Swag, Zuma, Kason, Max, Lacey, Ron, Adapt, all those guys. And is the first one that I saw was Lacey, and it says left at Face Clan. And then right under it, it was Mr. Beast, and he just says, "Why?" And I was like, huh? And then I think it was Stable Ronaldo was the next one I saw. And same thing, Mr. Beast under it, "Why?" And I was just like, what is going on? And I started looking around, and turns out a lot of these guys are leaving Phase. Um, the video that you currently see right now was from Apex a year ago. But we're going to go ahead and watch Swag's video, and then we're gonna watch Max's video, and then we're gonna kind of go through some of these things that you can see. Rug right here. You can see Phase right here. I mean, this is just me just pulling up. If you guys don't believe me, I mean, look, I'm on For You. I haven't searched anything, and then different things are pulling up, like this Warzone tournament, and then there's this, and then Swag. All this other stuff. So I mean, it's not you know. So here we go. So we're gonna start over here with Swag's video, and guys, this is gonna be a long video, so let's lock in.
Hey YouTube, what is going on, guys? Man, I did not think I would be making this type of video when I went home on vacation. On Christmas, there's so much that went down. My phone went absolutely berserk. The internet went absolutely berserk. And like I said, this is something that I kind of knew was coming for the last couple of weeks, but I didn't think it was going to sit here and happen on Christmas, man. So first of all, if you don't know,
on Christmas this video
is
wild.
Faze Swag. I've been in Faze for 6 years.
So why we're on Swag specifically at the start? One, it's obviously the first video that popped up. If this was second, we would have probably watched Max and then his, but this was first. Second reason, Face Swag is literally the reason that I even pay attention to Face. Specifically Swag plus Nuke Squad. Shout out the Nuke Squad, Squad boys, Booyah, J Smooth, Cardi, Mar, Adrian, Dante, all the guys, and just absolutely just dominating the scene. I'm so proud of these guys. I've been following them since 2019, 2020. So just me personally, these guys are the real reason I follow Faze personally, and the only reason I even really care about this, other than this just being one of the biggest things to ever happen in general, in terms of the gaming industry, orgs and stuff like that. So let's continue.
And as you guys saw on the internet throughout the entire thing, several members left on Christmas, and everyone has been asking me questions. First of all, if you ever been a fan of Faze, make sure y'all drop a like, man. I've been watching Faze since I was literally since I started playing Call of Duty, and then I was recruited in
Oh, the
2020
youngin.
by Faze Apex because I
W.
was good at Warzone and I was a Call of Duty content creator.
W.
And at that time, I was their
W
first Call of
Apex,
Duty
W
recruit in
Apex,
like 6 or 7
W
years, man.
Apex
So
chat.
it's been a crazy ride the last 6 years. Even in the last year.
Can we get a W Apex W swag in the comment section? If you guys are watching this, let's get W swag and W Apex.
Year and a half have been pretty great, you know, just seeing what the boys have built.
Faze Clan.
The people that announced that
Best
they left last night
content
were Lacey, Stable Ronaldo, Silky.
Yes. So these are all the ones that I saw. I think Adapt and Rage also left today, if not yesterday.
Adapt, which I think is one that just
Yep,
like
there's
I
the
think
one.
shocked
Yep.
the entire internet, because I think when Lacey and Ron and like Jason and Silky announced that they were leaving, people thought it was kind of a joke or like it was some
Me
sort,
too.
for some sort of skit.
I did too.
But when Adapt had left, I think that's when literally everyone on my
he
phone said, "Is this actually real? Is this actually happening?" You know, and you know, Adapt's been in Faze for 14 years, so for him to leave the clan is, I mean, it's definitely serious. It's some serious shit. Some people may argue with me in the comment section below about this, but I think Adapt is probably the most, I would say, is the best Faze clan member of all time.
I think they only say that for a couple reasons. I'm not gonna discredit Adapt. Me personally, I don't watch him. I do think he's like I've seen some videos and I've seen some clips. And I think the guy is overall funny. But my goat personally is just gonna be Swag. You can hate on that, but for me personally, that's just who I choose. Yeah, let's go.
People have never even heard of
So
Faze.
so that's basically all he said so far is just basically that that those guys have left.
Or gaming or anything like that ever. But Adapt was really in LA grinding in the heart of the organization, and he is the funniest, most genuine person I've ever met. He's genuinely the most funniest
the
person.
Von Wees.
Everything you see on stream with Adapt is exactly
Von
how he is
Cheese.
in person. Even if we're just eating a sandwich, bro, he's just cracking a joke and just laughing and just being goofy.
When you guys went to the Pig Cafe, it looked like Lacey family reunion. Oh.
And over the last year and a half, things have been pretty great, especially within Faze. This is all from my perspective and through my scope, so I'm not really speaking for anybody who left or anything like that or what's going on. And a lot of you guys are asking if I'm leaving, which I will explain. First of all, I kind of want to paint the picture of what Faze actually looked like within the org, what like our roles were and different things like that. So as you guys know, we had the Faze house, which had people living in it, such as Max, Silky, Jason, Ron, Lacey.
Spacebar wasn't working for a second to pause. So I've only watched the first 2 minutes because I thought also that it was a joke, but main guy being Swag, it was the first YouTube video when I popped up and thinking about doing, just insert. But I was like, you know what? I need to react to this. I need to break it down for the people that watch me for Call of Duty 2. So dude, Jason looks that this freeze frame for Jason is not it. Oh, brother.
And Adapt moved in a little bit later, but he was part of like that core streaming group.
This
and
was like
those
their
5 guys
recent
besides
house.
Adapt were all recently recruited in the last 2 years, and they kind of just all grew together.
It's
They
just
grew
a
all
streaming
good
room?
communities, man. Their communities are massive, and they've done a great job carrying Faze
Golly,
and kind of
bro,
bringing
has
back
the
Faze in
entire,
general.
like,
And a lot of that credit I
top
got to
of the
give to,
house,
man.
though.
I'll literally tell you the story. I remember, bro. I remember Kason telling me about, first of all, about Max. I had never heard about Black Boy Max, man. He showed me some of his clips and streams. Because I mainly just game. I mainly play Call of Duty. I stay in my own lane, and I mainly just game. You know what I mean? I'm a gamer. I remember him telling me about Black Boy Max. I remember Ron telling me about Jason the Ween. I remember Ron telling me about Lacey when Lacey was like, had pink hair. And I remember meeting all them and kind of seeing this overall the potential, and they've grown over the last 2 years and really they've won back-to-back orgs for Faze Clan. So they've done a great job. And I can really
remember
speak to their
watching
just
this, bro.
character and just overall when it's off camera. At the weekly Faze shoots, which was what I would always go to, and I would go to the house sometimes, they were all just cool, very chill individuals who just genuinely wanted to succeed together. They always plan things together, and they care so much about the brand. There was a clip of Ron, I would say a couple months ago, about him, never wanting to leave Faze Clan, and that was facts. Ron definitely felt some type of way as far as never wanting to leave. So you obviously have the core people that lived in the house that we would shoot YouTube videos. Because I'm in LA, I would come to the video shoots. And again, this is through my perspective. So they obviously had the house all together making content. We would do video shoots. I live in LA, so I would literally go to the LA shoots that were probably 20 minutes away, hang out with them. We would shoot like 2 or 3 videos, and then we would go our separate ways. A lot of people would ask why I don't live in the Faze house or different things like that. Look, I'm a little bit older than all of them. I'm 29, about to be 30. I've done the 3 to 4 Faze houses with my boys, you know what I mean? So I definitely wanted to just have my own space, and overall, you know, that's, you know, at some point you got to understand what's betterment for the team, and I understood that for real. And then you obviously have guys like Scope who is a true sniper, like for Call of Duty, Zuma, who's truly into the competitive scene, Jev, who does his own variety content but still carries the Faze name, Rug, who does his own thing with his YouTube videos, his IRL YouTube videos, doesn't really stream,
we're just
does his own thing for Faze. So that's kind of how the
to
scope of the whole thing kind of worked. You have guys like Apex who worked on the back end for Faze, but at the core center of it all was the Faze house and the boys who streamed every single day. Like I said, I saw some clips, even from Ricky talking about how, you know, they all have egos and different things like that. Look, at the end of the day, that is something I did not experience. They all were, I'm gonna tell you this right now, they all had a right to have an ego, and they just did not. Look, they showed up to the video shoots, whether they maybe liked it or not. They showed up and they did it. They knew what was best for the group. They understood that, yo, we got to do content together. Even like YouTube video content, we got to do the extra stuff to continue to push the brand. So as far as their character and different things like that, I mean, for them being 21, 22, averaging, you know, I saw Ron. I'll tell you like this, man. Ron is so funny. He built a slide in the back of the Faze house, 35,000 viewers, and he would show up. Ron would be the first one to the video shoot. Let's say we had a video shoot at 9 o'clock. Ron would be there at 8:30, 8:15 on his phone, sleeping, ready to go. That's how I knew that these guys genuinely just didn't have egos like that. Ron was there every single time early. So as far as attesting to the character, I just truly disagree with that. This is kind of one of those situations where I think history just kind of repeats itself. Now, a lot of people are sitting here asking as far as why I haven't left, in a sense, or, you know, why I'm not leaving along with him. I think for me, it's a little bit different. You know, that situation has been building up, especially at the Faze house, for a little while now.
It's unfortunate to say, right? And I don't want to be the one that bear bad news, right? But this whole Faze thing, it's gonna come to a halt very soon once the pressure is turned up. Because reality is, you guys have no equity in this, right? You're under no contract.
I'll be surprised if this shit lasts another year. We're not even talking about equity.
For me, I kind of worked out as far as like maybe with the higher ups for Faze, my role and what I was doing and what I was comfortable with, and I was set, you know, for the last couple of years. And for me personally, I was just telling my manager this. I think, you know, Apex recruited me. So for me, I think whenever Apex calls it quits or Apex says he's no longer associated with the Faze brand, I think that's when I would step down. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's maybe you guys, people can understand it's a little disrespectful, you know, if Apex recruits me and then I just slide off, you know? Also, you just kind of got to see how everything plays out. I do want to sit here and say, though, I promise you, anybody from the Faze org is watching, yo, it is in your best interest to get these guys back. You guys got to get all these guys back, man. They have done an incredible job. They have single-handedly revived the entire brand. They've made people genuinely excited for Faze Clan in almost a decade, you know? And I'm going to say this right now. For any organization watching out there, or anything, company, or anything like that, you are nothing without your talent. You are nothing without, you know,
that is true, bro.
Employees. You know, I knew things were bad at Faze when a long-time person who has been in there, Griff, I know you're watching this. When he was let go, I knew things were bad because there is a lot of good people who work at Faze.
Griff,
but in this whole situation, it just almost feels like what happened.
Griff was a big part couple years back with not only Swag. I'm gonna
2 years ago.
I'm not gonna do this to Swag. I'm gonna
with
get a better you know, picture here. That's a crazy thumbnail. I might do this. Wait, Chad. Do I make the thumbnail now? That'd be crazy, huh? No, yeah, I had to, bro. I had to. Yeah. So no. Yep. uh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So Griff was a was kind of the manager slash you know guy for Nuke Squad. I mean, and Face Swag. I mean, just this guy just he did pretty much everything for them. He was in there with when they first got their like one of their houses. I can't remember which one, but he was in there for Face Swag, Nuke Squad. I don't know if he managed anybody else or what happened with that. Maybe he'll say it, but yeah, I mean just W Griff, W Griff.
Losing control of Faze and everything like that going on. So the boys will for sure speak to their own personal.
I'm be honest. I've never cared for Banks. Um, I just, I mean, just I know like I know his importance of the brand, but like in terms of just who he is, I just
experience and
this?
in why they left individually. All the guys who left, I think they just wanted to, have a piece of what they were building, and that's completely valid, man. I mean, they've done a great job. They've streamed every single day. They've gone on video shoots when they did not have to. They did stuff for brands when they're not even getting paid for it. I mean, all of us for the last 2 years were literally not getting a salary. Like, we weren't getting a salary. Like before 3-4 years ago in Faze, bro, it was 6 figures easy, no question. The last 2 years, none of us have taken a salary. We understand that what's best for the org and putting money into the content, and that's all they did. That's why I respect the guys so much, because they would spend so much money of their own money to put into the Faze content to make it good. Money into their own content to make it good, and that inspired me.
Dude,
Now,
that's
a lot of
the
people are
Nuke
asking, are
Squad
they going to make
house,
their
bro.
own org? I think a lot of people are asking that question, and I don't think that's something that's on the horizon. I think you got to understand that it's Christmas time. Look, that clip of Ron where he said he did not want to leave Faze. I promise you, this is the last thing they wanted to do. This is something that they just feel like they had no other choice, But I think it's always important to note that, like I said, talent comes first. Whether this whole thing was making money or not, I feel like gaming organizations in general aren't built to make money, and I don't think that's why we were even in the first place. That's not why I was in it. I just wanted to be a part of a team. I was completely fine for the last year and a half making $0. My favorite thing to do was all of us going to the Faze shoots and making YouTube content and just hanging out and vibing. Like that's what I joined for, is the camaraderie. At the end of the day, I think it's completely in anybody on the Faze company side best interest to get all these guys back. They are the ones who cared. There's nobody who cared about the org more than they did. They single-handedly brought it back. The guys did. The guys who worked day in and day out and created content and carried that name. Like I said, I don't really have a decision on what I'm going to be doing. I'm kind of just letting things kind of play out as they go. I kind of wanted to make this video just because, a lot of people are asking, because I am in Faze and a lot of these different questions. I kind of want to just kind of give you an inside scoop on and kind of tell you guys about their character. I'm seeing, their character being questioned and how much they actually cared about the brand and why would they leave such a thing like that. Man, I'm telling you, this is the last thing they wanted to do. Like I said, the boys just wanted a piece of what they were building, and from the likes of it, they weren't getting that piece of what they were building. I've been through already one Faze rebuild, man. So like this, Adapt leaving it feels a little different this time. And it feels like it may be cooked, but I hope it's not. I do love being in the team. I do love the team in general. I'm always rooting for the boys no matter what they're going to do. But whenever they're ready to speak on it, they will speak on it in detail. But as far as them having egos and not caring about each other and hating on each other, bro, I'm telling you, these guys were...
So, I mean, I know he didn't, not that, what he has to say isn't important, but I mean, for the gist of it, I know a lot of these guys just left. I know there's just a lot of, legal issues. This is crazy. First off, let's get that off the screen. Anyways, but so we're gonna go over to X now. Trying to make sure it doesn't just like refresh. Okay, so did Rug say anything? Has Rug left? So he doesn't say anything specific, and his full at is at Faze Rug still, but he doesn't have the like Faze thing in the whatever. He still has this picture, so it's like, I mean, yeah. Movies. Back to this. I would assume Rug might be soon. It is dark, and I am sorry that it is this dark. Yeah. Anyways, just bear with me. Just bear with me. So Aiden Ross' best friend Cheezer reveals that he purchased FaZe Clan and rebuilding for 2026 comeback. The roster is absolutely insane. FaZe Aiden, FaZe Bruce, drop him off. He's good. XQC Cheezer. Okay, bro. That'd be insane. Okay, let's see what else. So Cuffham calls out Sketch as a major reason so many members left Phage, hinting things weren't right behind the scenes. Quotes, what happened behind the scenes of those Phase with Sketch collabs? That's when everything started going downhill. I'm going to honestly say that I agree. I never like I knew they had the whole rebrand Phase thing, and they dropped a lot of people off, and when that happened, yeah, that was big. But at the same time, I know they were trying to start going, they were trying to get back to their roots, all this stuff. So like there was that little like thing with them adding that girl. I just don't remember her name off the top of my head, and then they rebranded. Nothing really happened in terms of like the company just being taken over or like going downhill, but in terms of it just like restarting or having like a little drop, right? And then I remember hearing this whole Sketch thing where Sketch is just you know he's upset because this thing happened and whatnot. And then, there were like these texts and tweets and all these things about, Sketch not feeling, a certain way, whatever. And then like he thinks like people are against all this other crap that just he's just being a victim. Unfortunately, like I hate to say that, but he was just being a victim. Like it sucks, right? It sucks, but he was just a victim, and um more so playing victim as well. I mean, obviously, I don't know, and you could say it's mental health, but I mean, at the same time, like there may be, other motives that just haven't been said yet. And really, around that time is when I was like, bro, what is this? Like, yeah, there were a couple of funny moments, but like realistically, like the whole Sketch thing kind of sent like it is honestly started a snowball effect. Now with Sketch, the reason what just happened with everybody leaving happened, not necessarily, but I do think this was a major part in everything going downhill. I think rebranding was probably part of it too, but I think like I said, just caused an avalanche / snowball effect. I do want to hear what this is though.
Gone for a couple months. I'm able to get my mental health back right. I'm able to get straight. I'm able to pause. I'm able to realign myself as a person and just be able to, you feel me? Good. And I'm not saying all that was from being in, but I was just fucked up in a lot of different ways. I just had to get myself.
Look at them Phase X sketch collab. What happened off stream, my nigga? Shit.
So funny. I'm gone for a couple months. I'm able to get my mental health back right.
I mean, there was a lot that obviously happened. FaceWise is questioning the Phase uppers to how this fall happened. Quote, you win best org back to back, but what more do you want? You can't replicate that. Even with Jev, Rug, Zuma, you can't replicate that. It was the perfect formula to make money. People who cared are all gone. I mean, Phase Swag on Bank saying all the Phase Boys have an in single. That's something I did not experience. They all had the right to have an ego, and they didn't. They showed up to all the videos. They know they had to do extra stuff for the brand. Dude, honestly, though, like... Bro, what is this? Bro, what is this, dude? What am I looking? Anyways, I see a lot of like things about swag. Weirdly enough, this thing, this is stupid. Oh, this is literally Cuffham. This is literally this dude up here, bro. This is literally this dude right here. That's crazy. Fat Boy Dip reveals FaZe Banks was kicked out of FaZe Clan by Max, Silky, and the boys, but FaZe was sold to a group called Hardscope that Banks is a part of. I mean, he's still involved with FaZe, and Dip calls FaZe Banks a liar. I just don't like Banks. Yeah, I'm trying just to make sure that nothing shows up that shouldn't be, because you know how X is, bro. Why Black Boy left FaZe. So this is his. So this is Banks' screenshot. Yeah, I effed this whole shit up FaZe. Everything like, dang. I talked to him this before Subathon a couple weeks ago, but these guys didn't want me back. I understood they don't owe me anything, to be honest, but I just know what I offer, and I think everything would go even crazier. But ultimately, this is on me. I'm still cool with everybody, though I showed love where I can. But more than anything, I dead miss working with you and Ray. Like I said, the and contract threw me off bad, bro, but I'm past that, and we talked about it, so I don't give a crap. And I get your POV. That's like, so basically he says that he messed everything up. Um, I guess they just didn't want him to go back. I don't know, or like come back to the thing. Clavicular has joined FaZe Clan. Bro, what is this? Is that real, dude? No way what I saw earlier was like real, right? Because like FaZe Clan would have like said something. I was about to say, if this is real, bro, I'm out. I'm out. Unless like it's because of this whole like what's it called? Oh, is this like, no, this isn't the actual ninja. Okay, I was about to cry, bro. I was like, what? um but yeah, I mean, dude, there's just a lot going on, and overall at the end of the day, I can't, obviously I only know so much. So who does bro think he's, what is he talking about? What? um but yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm more so, like I said, just kind of paying attention to Swag and how he's doing with everything, because obviously that's my guy. So with all that being said, for anybody watching the video, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.